know we content for the faith, so we never pretend with the fake. Got no time to hang out with the snakes. I just know what I am, what I ain't. I just do what I can, what I can't. I just leave it to him, I don't think. Hey, what do you mean? My blessing came straight from the Lord, straight for the team. I'm out here just praising my God. Everybody know I gotta grow. All that evil can't take that no more. I can't hang with the wicked no more. Can't stay the same my whole life.
Ain't got much longer, I gotta get stronger. I'm lifting and building my faith, doing whatever it takes. Giving and least to my debt, can't afford that mistake. Ducking and dodging the fakes, can't be with phonies. He told me I gotta be great. Fire, brimstone, embers, infernos. I cannot swim in that lake. What turns a kid to a man and a man to a king and a king to a god? It's deep at the surface, I wanna be worth it, so I'm out here fixing these flaws. So I'm out here keeping these laws. They actions show me that they frauds, pushing they lies a facade. Now who gonna answer his call? Oh God.
We put it in work every day, and you know we content for the faith, so we never pretend with the fake. Got no time to hang out with the snakes. I just know what I am, what I ain't. I just do what I can, what I can't. I just leave it to him, I don't think. Hey, what do you mean? My blessing came straight from the Lord, straight for the team. I'm out here just praising my God. Everybody know I gotta grow. All that evil can't take that no more. I can't hang with the wicked no more. Can't stay the same my whole life.
Oh, I been working on getting my flow right, and I felt like a king since I stepped on the scene, and I swear that this feeling is so right. Lately I just been growing my faith and repenting and working on getting my soul right. I remember when I used to ride with that work it, but over and pray that it go right. Way back then I was whipping illegal, riding around town with a strap and some Cheetos. I pray for guidance and find it inside of the Bible. I had to repent from that evil. I promise I got it, I'm wiser than I was before, and now I'm taking shots at the ego. Straight off that alley, now I'm going CeeLo. I'm crazy, I'm focused, I'm deadly, I'm lethal, but that's me though.
Ay, we put it in work every day, and you know we content for the faith, so we never pretend with the fake. Got no time to hang out with the snakes. I just know what I am, what I ain't. I just do what I can, what I can't. I just leave it to him, I don't think. Hey, what do you mean? My blessing came straight from the Lord, straight for the team. I'm out here just praising my God. Everybody know I gotta grow. All that evil can't take that no more. I can't hang with the wicked no more. Can't stay the same my whole life.
You knowin' that this ain't a trend, the way they pretend I'm shot like a car seat. Ain't caring about who this offend, I lost many friends, don't know what this cost me. I'm in the game and we play for the win. We in the four, can't be playing with sin. Said it before and I said it, I meant it, won't bend it, I said it, I say it again, repent.
I'm yelling repent, got man love for my neighbors. Sometimes I heard you can't tell us a favor. We the ones broken in need of a savior. Better repent cause the end coming soon. It's getting real when the Christ in the room. If you rollin' the dice, you get swept like a broom. I didn't gamble my life, I'll be damned if I'm doomed. Ayy, some never gon' change up their mind frame. Won't do a damn thing, it's a damn shame. Receiving the word like it's champagne. If you ain't rooted, it's a bad thing. I do what I'm able, some do what they can. The power of God manifests in my frame. The seed of the righteous, no shame in our game. We do this for Christ, we can take it, they lame.
You knowin' that this ain't a trend, the way they pretend I'm shot like a car seat. Ain't caring about who this offend, I lost many friends, don't know what this cost me. I'm in the game and we play for the win. We in the four, can't be playing with sin. Said it before and I said it, I meant it, won't bend it, I said it, I say it again, repent.
Move through the city like angels is with me. Yellow repent cause the righteous gon' hear me. I know that I struggle, please Father forgive me. Praying for mercy to walk in the city. The wicked exposed, we airing them out. They spewing that folly, we casting it down. Could pass by the enemy, they all around. Hey, yeah, they hate cause the planet's in motion. Got more soldiers than drops in the ocean. Waters rising, this world got me floating. Yeah, these laws to be cutting, they potent. Love and say now you moving like the culprit. All that evil man, you learning from the pulpit. The days are numbing and the promise really loaded. True repentance gonna make you really go.
They said they lost me. You knowin' that this ain't a trend, the way they pretend I'm shot like a car seat. Ain't caring about who this offend, I lost many friends, don't know what this cost me. I'm in the game and we play for the win. We in the four, can't be playing with sin. Said it before and I said it, I meant it, won't bend it, I said it, I say it again, repent.
We are on fire. Y'all know what I'm talking about? But let a month go by, a couple of years go by, we start to burn out and lose that flame. That's called battle fatigue. We are in a combat stress. Why? Because we're fighting against our lusts, our desires that is within us. Lusts and desires that we gave into before we heard the truth. That's called battle fatigue. Battle fatigue.
Young king, no corrector. I've been lost like forever. Let them talk how they talk. Youngest talk about whatever. I just fall not involved. They gon' talk about whoever. We been off all along. We been off all along. Hold up, I got it, I gotta go get it. The father told me to repent. Hit up the block and we look for this scatter. We searching like where they all went. My brothers be wildin', we flipping that Bible. We giving 100%. Gotta be top of the list. Gotta be one of the 144,000. I've been gone for a while and back and forth in my mind. And back and forth, I go back and forth. I've been back and forth all the time. And Lord knows I be wildin'. Lord tell me where my trials and been in denial out here. Oh, really get deep sometimes. Oh, and this why I can't ease my mind. That's a problem. Tell me why I can't breathe sometimes. Drowning. Really get deep sometimes. And this world can't ease my mind. That's a problem. Tell me why I can't breathe sometimes. Drowning.
Was drowning, I know I ain't dreaming. Demons, they giving me reason to fight. Was calling on love for the healing. Now I'm finally seeing the light. And these waves kinda violent, but I got a sidekick that's gonna give me guidance. Whoa. Surrounded with brothers that's with me, I'm searching, I'm seeking who's winning, who's foe. Stay around angels, I'm grounded, I gotta stand tall at the top of the oak. Let me back on my feet, know I've been in too deep. Lord knows I've been struggling like a week. That's just how I see. And
really get deep sometimes. And this world can't ease my mind. That's a problem. Tell me why I can't breathe sometimes. Drowning.
Shalom, shalom, family, most high in Christ bless. Welcome to another morning of history in the AM. Today you got Captain Emmanuel of IUIC Arkansas. We're going to continue in our series, The Kings of Israel, all right? Last time we dealt with the two Jehorams. We was able to complete the southern kingdom Jehoram, his reign, right, how it went and how it ended. But we were not able to complete the reign of the northern kingdom Jehoram. So that's what we're gonna do today. And Lord's willing, we get into some other stuff. It's gonna be a lot of history today. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through it all, but Lord's willing, that's the plan. All right, so let's open up with Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Romans 15 and 4.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
All right. So all praise to the Most High. Like I said, it's another morning of history in AM. So we're going to dive into the things that were written for our learning, right? Being the reign of our forefathers, whether it was wicked, whether it was righteous, majority of them were wicked. It is what it is. But even in their wicked reign, there's things that's documented to edify us, right? To comfort us, to build us up, as well as admonish us of what not to do, how not to move, decisions not to make, especially in positions of authority, right? And it also teaches us about wicked influences, right? And the seed of the wicked, and just the type of people you're not to align yourself with is people that's literally toxic, right? When you read the history in Kings and Chronicles, you see literally toxic lineages that the Lord had to exterminate. You understand? It's real. It's certain people in this world that come from a real deal toxic lineage, and their actions gonna manifest it. You know what I'm saying? Over the years, but I'm telling you, it's certain people that they Israel, but they marked for death. All right, it is what it is, and we gonna show y'all. But as I said, right, today we're going to finish the reign of the northern kingdom, Jehoram, who was also known as Joram, right, without the it's Joram, right? He reigned from 852 to 841 BC, all right? Lord is willing, we will introduce Jehu of the northern kingdom, who reigned from 841 to 814 BC. Excuse me. We also gonna touch on, Lord's willing, the reign of Ahaziah or Azariah or Jehoash. Mainly Ahaziah, right? That's his main name, who reigned in 841 BC over the southern kingdom, and his mama Athaliah or Athaliah, who reigned from 841 to 835 BC. Yes, who reigned. All right, so Lord's willing, we'll get to her. We'll be able to introduce her in Jehu today. All right, but let's go to 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 1. So we read this last time. I think we went through the whole chapter, 2 Kings 3. But this is just reintroducing the northern kingdom, Jehoram or Joram. I read that.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now Jehoram, the son of Ahab, began to reign over Israel in Samaria, the 18th year of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, and reigned 12 years.
So Jehoram is the son of Ahab, right? And we all know who Ahab is. We should. The worst king ever. All right? King Simp, the son of Omri. All right? Read on.
And he wrought evil in the sight of the Lord, but not like his father and
right.
like his
so
mother.
Jehoram was wicked as hell, but he wasn't as bad as Ahab and his mama Jezebel. All right, they was killing the prophets of the Lord. They set up a supreme image of Baal. He didn't go to those extremes. All right, but read on.
For he put away the image of Baal that his father had made.
So the Lord gave him credit for that. Like, he took down that big-ass image of the devil. All right, go ahead.
Nevertheless, he cleaved unto the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he made Israel to sin. He departed not therefrom.
Nevertheless, he was still an idolater. He was still wicked as hell. All right? So just in case y'all forgot, all right, this brother was wicked. Now watch this. Go to chapter 4, 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 8. So I plan to go through, after we finish the Kings of Israel series, we'll give y'all profiles on the major prophets and the minor prophets. All right, now there's many other captains doing history in AM. Brothers talking about, I was already gonna do that. I don't know. All right, we gonna see. You know what I'm saying? I might pick around whoever they do or whatever. I don't know. But I plan to eventually do that, right? And the first two going to be Elijah and Elisha. So we're not going to go through the whole 2 King because a lot of it is just showing you the works of Elisha, right? And this is the Kings of Israel series. So we just going to deal with what's pertinent per se to the king, right? But this story in particular ties into, basically it's relevant to know concerning the reign of King Joram over the northern kingdom. All right, so just just a little piece of it. We ain't gonna go through the whole story, but this is one of Elisha's many miracles that he performed. All right, 2 Kings 4 verse 8.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 4 and verse 8.
Come on.
And it fell on a day that Elisha passed to Shunem, where was a great woman, and she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned in thither to eat bread.
Right. So Elisha would pass through this city called Shunem, and a Shunammite woman would always try to get him to come in and eat dinner with them because she knew he was a powerful man, and she had something that she wanted to request from him. Right? Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. And he said, about this season, according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace a son.
That's the favor that she wanted from him. She knew that he had the power to perform miracles. Her and her husband was getting old, and they didn't have no child, right? So Elisha blessed her with the ability to have a child. Go ahead.
And she said, nay, my Lord, thou man of God, do not lie unto thine handmaid.
Don't lie to me. Don't play with me, Elisha, right? But he wasn't playing. Jump down to verse 36. So what had happened was he wasn't playing. She had a son, but then her son got sick and died, right? So watch this. Verse 36.
Verse 36.
Uh-huh.
And he called Gehazi and said, call this Shunammite.
Call the Shunammite woman. Read.
So he called her, and when she was come in unto him, he said, take up thy son.
So he resuscitated her son, right? He brought her son back to life. That's one of the many miracles Elisha did. Like I said, we ain't got time to go through all of it. I just want to show y'all, you know what I'm saying, this the gist of this story. So he blesses the Shunammite woman with the ability to have a child. She has a child. It gets sick. It dies. He brings the child back to life, right? Now, we're going to jump in time real quick. Go to 2 Kings chapter 8. Well, we're not jumping in time per se, but we have to go later in the chapters to see what Elisha told her at this time that wasn't recorded in 2 Kings chapter 4. All right, but it's relevant to 2 Kings chapter 5, 6, and 7. All right, so read that.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 8 and verse 1. Then spake Elisha unto the woman, whose son he has restored to life.
The Shunammite woman, read.
Saying, arise, and go thou in thine household, and sojourn wheresoever thou canst sojourn. For the Lord hath called for a famine.
The Lord hath what?
Called for a famine.
And
it shall also come upon the land 7 years.
So at the time when he healed her son in 2 Kings chapter 4, Elisha had knowledge from the Lord that he was going to send a famine in the land of Samaria for 7 years. So he told this woman after he healed her son, listen, go and find somewhere to sojourn because it's a famine, a sore famine coming to this land. Read on.
Verse 2. And the woman arose and did after the saying of the man of God. And she went with her household and sojourned in the land of the Philistines 7 years.
Right. So during this 7 years, she went and sojourned in the land of the Philistines. All right. So now let's go back to 2 Kings. Now we're going to go to chapter 6. Like I said, we ain't going to go through all the works of Elisha. That's another history in the AM topic. All right. 2 Kings chapter 5, you read about Naaman the Syrian and Gehazi getting smitten with leprosy and all of that, right? So now 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 8 now.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 8.
Then
the king of Syria warred against Israel.
So now, this is before the 7-year famine that Elisha knew was going to happen and that he forewarned the Shunammite woman about. This is leading up to that. All right. So it says the king of Syria warred against Israel. This king of Syria is the same king of Syria during the time of Ahab. His name was Benadad. All right. Read on.
And took counsel with his servant, saying, and such a place shall be my camp.
Right. So and remember too, Ahab did what? He spared that damn king who the Lord appointed to death. And the Lord had said he was going to judge his ass for that, right? But nevertheless, this man who God aforetime appointed to death got it in his wicked mind. He said, in such a place shall be my camp. I'm going to take possession of lands in Israel for my camp. Go ahead.
And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down.
Right. So Elisha, I guess the Lord revealed it. Elisha was a super powerful individual. He had a double portion of Elijah's spirit. All right. Like I said, that's another class. But a lot of the miracles and abilities that you see Jesus Christ have in the New Testament, Elisha had and did those things. All right. Many of those things. Okay. All right. So somehow, however, which way, Elisha knew what the king of Syria was thinking. So he forewarned the king of Israel, which is Jehoram, the northern kingdom one. He forewarned him like, hey, in this place, Benadad plan on attacking. All right, so move with caution. Read.
And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice.
Read.
Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore in trouble for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel?
Right. So basically, the king of Israel, he was on guard in these places, right, that Elisha told him the king of Syria planned on attacking. So the king of Syria is peeping this, and he go to his people like, hey, which one of y'all is working for the Israelites? How the hell he know how to move in these particular places that I plan on attacking? Read.
And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king. But Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber.
You see that? So they already know that Elisha got this superpower. They like, look, Elisha is telling the king of Israel the stuff that you thinking and plotting on in your bedchamber. All right, go ahead.
And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dathan.
So Benadad like, man, we got to get rid of him then. This nigga got a superpower. He able to tell the king what I'm thinking, what I'm talking about in my bedroom. The hell is that? This nigga got to die. So he plans on seeking after Elisha's life. Go ahead.
Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about.
So this man sent an army after Elisha. And that's the thing, brothers and sisters. When we read this Bible, I'm telling you, we got to remove the Christianity scales from our eyes. This is not a fairy tale book. This is not white people just doing miracles. And no. All right? This is a black man, right, for his works on behalf of his nation being sought by the military of a nation. All right? This man is behind enemy lines. This man is a target of a government. You understand? They are sending not a SWAT team. You understand? Not a task force. This man is sending the Syrian military after him. You understand? That's the plight of a prophet. You understand? Like Jeremiah said, the prophets before me prophesied against great kingdoms of war and pestilence and all of that. Y'all know what come with that? For real. Y'all gonna see y'all leaders. I'm telling you, they gonna be sending a northern army against us. All right? I'm telling you, for real. Read on.
Verse 15. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early, and gone forth. Behold, and hosts compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
So I'm not sure if this was Gehazi, right? But this was one of Elisha's servants. If it wasn't Gehazi, it was one of his servants. He sees the Syrian military compassing them about, and he like, hey, Elisha, what the hell going on? We surrounded. Read.
And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
So Elisha had to tell the young brother, hey, chill out. We good. We got more with us than they got with them. Now, mind you, the young man, in his mind, it's just him and Elisha. And he's seeing chariots and horses and weapons surrounding them. So the young man like, okay, there be more with us. You understand? So watch what Elisha say. Read on.
And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see.
So Elisha was like, Lord, open his eyes that he can see, because I'm confusing him right now. He don't really understand what I'm saying. So, Lord, open his eyes that he may see. Do y'all know what this means? Tell them. So, look. We, right now, you looking at a screen, you see me, right? You see the motion of human beings. You see birds and stuff flying around. You might see a cockroach crawling up your wall or something. You understand? But what you don't see is, which is right there in your room, which is in your backyard, in the sky hovering over you, in the street. You understand? At the damn stoplight, it's all over around us. It's a spiritual realm with spiritual beings in existence. All right? Believe it or not. But that's beyond our eyes, our earthly eyes to see. But Elisha had the ability to see the spiritual realm while walking the earth. So Elisha prayed to the Lord. He like, Lord, open this young brother's eyes that he may see what I'm able to see. Right? Now watch this. Go ahead.
And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
So mind you, the Syrian military don't see this. The young man didn't see this at first. Just like the world don't see this. Right? But understand. Go to Psalms 34 and 7. Psalms chapter 34, verse 7. This is what, if you believe, you understand? Well, whether you believe it or not, it is what it is. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 7.
Come on.
The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him, and delivereth them.
So I know it say angel of the Lord as if it's singular, right? But it's not. Go to Psalms 68, verse 17. It says, the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him. You understand? Meaning if you're keeping God's commandments, you have this military protecting you. All right? Read what you got.
The book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 17.
The
chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
So the Syrian military, that was a great multitude, right? But Elisha was like, hey, we got more with them than be with us. I mean, we got more with us than be with them. He was able to see the thousands of God's chariots surrounding him. Read on.
The Lord is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place.
All right, so Elisha prayed to the Lord. The Lord showed the young man the thousands of angels that was encamped round about Elisha to protect him. All right? Believe it or not, brothers, that's why we be able to go to camp and prophesy the way that we do it. And I'm telling you, you got men aforetime that died for much less than the things that we sin and the things that we speaking about openly and publicly on a daily basis. You understand? Martin Luther King was on some white men and white girls and black girls holding hands and all that, and they killed him. We thought the white man, you know what? The damn America gonna burn, America gonna fall, the nation's going into slavery, Lord gonna judge it. We saying much worse things every day. And the police come and, oh yeah, we like what you guys are doing. Come on, man. Spiritual. This is spiritual, brothers. We got the angels with us for now. Until the Lord said, all right, they got to get sealed. A certain number got to get sealed. They got to get put to death. They got to go through the great tribulation. It's time for them. They've been built up enough. They got to get beat up now. They got to get thrown in jail now. They got to get put to death. Sheep for the slaughter. You understand? Their time is coming, brothers. The angels going to ease up for those prophecies to come to pass. But for now, you wonder why. We got a free course the way that we do. We travel in the world the way that we is right now. Because the angels be with us. You just can't see it. All right? But they there. Where we at? 2 Kings. All right, verse 18.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 6 and verse 18. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha.
Right, so just like the angels in, example, Genesis 19 in Sodom, right, when the Sodomites was trying to rape Lot and them angels, right? The angels did what? Smote them with blindness. This is one of the powers that the angels exemplify or exercise on humans in the scriptures, right? So that they did the same thing here. Them angels blinded the Syrian military. Go ahead.
And Elisha said unto them, this is not the way, neither is this the city.
Right. So mind you, they don't know that this is Elisha because they've been smitten with blindness. They don't know that this is the man that they looking for. You understand? That they bounty hunting. So Elisha tell them, hey, he over here. He in this city. Go ahead.
Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom ye seek.
I'll bring y'all to Elisha. Whole time, this Elisha. But they blind. He like, I'll bring y'all to Elisha. Follow me. Go ahead.
But he led them to
Samaria. Right, where the king was, the king of Israel, Jehoram. Go ahead.
And it came to pass, when they were come into Samaria, that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men, that they may see.
So Elisha prayed, all right, take the blindness from them now. Read.
And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw. And behold, they were in the midst of Samaria.
So now they was in the midst of enemy territory. They was vulnerable. They was in the enemy's hands, right? The northern kingdom, read.
And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, when he saw them, my father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them?
Right. So this is how all people, including the king, as you can see, looked at the men of God. He referred to him as father. My father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? You understand? They in my hand. You done brought them to the midst of Samaria. You understand? They vulnerable as hell. They ready for me to obliterate. Shall I obliterate them? Right? King of Samaria, he asked for the green light. Read.
And he answered, thou shalt not smite them.
So Elisha told Jehoram, nah, don't smite them. Now you might be wondering, why? Why would, okay, they seeking to kill Elisha. Elisha blind them, take them into Samaria. You know what I'm saying? You would think that he lining them up to be killed. Why is Elisha telling the king not to smite them? Because remember, the Lord showed Elisha that there was a famine, there was judgment coming for Samaria, right, in the form of a famine for 7 years. So remember that. All right, read on.
Wouldest thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow?
So Elisha, like, would you kill your prisoners of war, the people that you take captive? Go ahead.
Set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink and go to their master.
Feed them, quench their thirst or whatever the case, and then send them back on their way. Send them back to Benadad. Read.
And he prepared great provision for them. And when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away. And they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel.
Read.
And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria.
So watch this. Ben-Hadad tried to kill Elisha, right? Elisha blind the military that he sent, bring them to Samaria. The king of Israel, the king of Samaria, can obliterate them. Elisha tell him, nah, spare them. You wouldn't kill your prisoners of war, would you? You would use them as captives. You wouldn't kill them. Leave them alone. Send them back to their master. He sent them back to their master, and then the master doubled back and besieged Samaria. You understand? Read on.
Verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria.
Read.
And behold, they besieged it, until an ass head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver.
Which y'all see slowly but surely happening right now in the United States of America. You know, it's called inflation, when prices increase astronomically, right? What you was able to get for $1 10 years ago, gonna be $20. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on right here, right? As a result of the siege that Syria is doing to Samaria. Now watch this. Go to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 verse 51.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he hath destroyed thee.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustedest, throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee.
Read.
And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy God had given thee, in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee.
All right, I'm gonna give you a break. So, what are we reading here? This is Deuteronomy 28, right? The curses as a result of breaking God's commandments. So remember, we already covered the beginning part of Jehoram last time, the northern kingdom one, right? We made sure we revisited the intro of him just to show y'all he continued in the ways of Jeroboam, right? Meaning he caused the northern kingdom to sin by way of idolatry. He wasn't as bad as his pappy, right? But he was still wicked as hell. So the Lord, like he promised to Moses, right, in the Israelites, y'all break my commandments, this is what's going to happen. These are the judgments that I'm going to cause to happen to the people. And he told Elisha, listen, I'm going to send a 7-year famine upon them, right? And it's going to happen by way of a siege. That's why Elisha told Jehoram not to smite them. Jehoram didn't know. You understand? He didn't understand why, but he knew to listen to Elisha. Like, okay, yes, sir, whatever, right? But Elisha knew that the Syrians were to be spared for the purpose of them sieging the land and causing this famine to come to pass, because that's what a siege does. It inflicts a famine upon the people, as we're reading here. All right, now watch this. Read 56.
Verse 56.
Come on.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet. and toward her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them.
She shall what?
She shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates.
All right. So it's written, these judgments were written aforetime. You understand? And, you know, we would take the Lord for a game, for a joke. Like, man, Lord got to show me. So these Northern Kingdom kings was wicked as hell. Now, none of them was ever right. So it came to pass in dispensations of time. The Lord said, all right, I'm finna send this famine upon y'all. Think I'm playing? I'm going to let the enemy come and besiege y'all, destroy y'all cattle, the fruit of y'all ground, so on and so forth, to where it's going to be a famine in the land. And the tender and delicate women amongst you going to be eating their damn children, right? Go back to 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 26.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 6 and verse 26.
Let's see if God is a man that he should lie. Read.
And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king.
So as Jehoram just passing by upon the wall, a woman cried out to him, Help me, king. Go ahead.
And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, when shall I help thee?
So if the Lord ain't helping you, sister, what the hell I'm going to do? Go ahead.
Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press?
Right. What barn floor I got? What damn storehouses we got for me to be able to feed you, sister? You better pray to God. Hell is this? Read.
And the king said unto her, What aileth thee?
What's wrong with you? Read.
And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son.
So now, she telling the problem, the issue. She said, there was this sister that said unto me, Give thy son, right? Go ahead.
That we may eat him today.
That we may what?
Eat him today.
So a sister came to this sister like, hey, give your son that we may eat your son today. Read.
And we will eat my son tomorrow.
And that's the deal. If we eat your son today, we will eat my son tomorrow. Right now, mind you, remember, we just read Deuteronomy 28. The nation gonna come, kill your cattle, your fruit of your land, besiege you in your gates, and it's gonna cause the people to turn around and eat their children because the famine will be so great. And you're gonna see your tender and delicate women eating the kids that come from between their feet. You understand? Read on.
So we boiled my son.
What the sister say?
So we boiled my son.
So the sister, like, I listened to the sister. I thought we was going to have a meal for today and tomorrow if we buried my son today. I believed her. I fell for it. We buried my son. We had a arm, a leg, you know what I'm saying? Two calves, two thighs, two forearms. You understand? For real. Read on.
And did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day.
So the next day came after we didn't bury my son and ate him. Read.
Give thy son that we may eat him.
Now it's time for us to bury your son. It's time to have your son as our next meal. Go ahead.
And she hath hid her son.
And she what?
She hath hid her son.
Got him.
Got his ass.
Finesse. You understand? The sister like, this one finessed me out my son. Man, look. It's a lot of problems, a lot of issues, a lot of incidents that be happening in Israel. Right? And you as a leader, you be thinking like, damn, Israel off the chain, man. This sister talking about such and such, this brother talking about such and such, whatever. But we really, this stuff that we be dealing with is light work. The problems, issue that we be dealing with in the body now is light work. You ain't had nobody come to the council table with this right here. For real, we ain't seen nothing yet, brothers. It is what it is. Let's be humble, study, build ourselves up. Imagine that. Sister come to the council and say, well, yeah, so, you know, we used to little petty Matthew 18 situations or whatever. Yeah, Cap. So, the sister was like, we gonna burrow little Jehoshaphat today, and then tomorrow we gonna eat little Melchizedek. So we burrow little Jehoshaphat. We had it was kind of nasty, but anything to survive, right? And so the next day came, we was supposed to burrow little Melchizedek, and Melchizedek nowhere to be found. You sitting there, you like, this sister is trying to seek counsel from me to rectify, basically like, sis, keep your word, bring forth your damn son, put your son in the damn pot. What the hell? What the hell is this? So you gotta imagine what's going on in the king's mind. Jehoram, he just had the Syrians in his hands. You understand? Ready to knock them off. Alicia said, nah, let them go. He let these foes go. They come back and siege the land and inflict this famine to where people coming to him about they kids being born. I can't find her son. He supposed to be our meal today. Just imagine what's going through his head, right? Read on.
Verse 30. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh.
So we break out into mourning. Go ahead.
Then he said, God do so and more also to me, if the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him this day.
So I'm finna take this nigga Elisha head off. Man, had me spare these damn Syrians for them to inflict this great distress upon the land. Kids getting ate. Hell nah, I'm finna kill this nigga. Go ahead.
But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him. And the king sent a man from before him.
So the king sent a messenger before him, in front of him. But the king was coming. Go ahead.
But ere the messenger came to him.
So before the messenger made it to Elisha, read.
He said to the elders, see ye how this son of a murderer have sent to take away mine head?
So remember, Elisha got superpowers. So before the messenger even make it to him, he tell the elders sitting with him, like, you see how this son of a murderer sending to take away my head? Sending a damn assassin. You understand? Y'all see this, right? Go ahead.
Look, when the messenger cometh, shut the door and hold him fast at the door.
Don't let that messenger in. Read.
Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him?
Y'all hear the king coming behind him? So he knew the king was coming behind the messenger. Go ahead.
And while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him.
So as Elisha was speaking, it came to pass. Read.
And he said, behold, this evil is of the Lord. What should I wait for the Lord any longer?
So the king was like, this is what the king said. He like, man, look, this evil is from the Lord. I obviously need to surrender. You understand? I need to surrender to the Syrians or whatever. This is getting out of hand. You understand? You talking about, you got me in this damn situation. You understand? And I got to stall them out of some hell. No, you need to be dead, and I need to surrender to the Syrians because this is getting out of hand. Now watch this. Keep reading. Chapter 7 and verse 1.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 7 and verse 1. Then Elisha said, hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria.
So Elisha is telling him, remember, the king is getting impatient. He ready to kill Elisha and surrender to the Syrians. So Elisha tell him, like, listen, there's a restoration coming. It's on the horizon. Go ahead.
Then the Lord, on whose hand the king leaned, answered the man of
Hey,
God.
hold on. Take a break. So why you ain't got no water, bro? You ain't prepare yourself. Just take a break. Get some water real quick. All right? For real. Get you a water at the refrigerator. All right? So it say a lord on whose hand the king leaned. This is talking about a captain of the army. You understand? Somebody that the king depended on, like his military chief, right? So a captain on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of God. He responded to Elisha saying this. Go ahead. Verse 2.
Then the Lord on whose hand the kings leaned answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord would make windows in heaven, might this thing be?
Right. So this statement here is basically like you read in, for example, Luke chapter 1 with John the Baptist's daddy, right? The angel tell him something and he responds like with some doubt, basically. And then the angel was like, you know what? Shut your damn mouth until the baby is born. And the man literally couldn't open his mouth until the baby was born, right? As you read in Luke 1, that's an example. So, and Elisha tell them, right, there's going to be a restoration in the land. This famine ain't got much longer, right? And this brother, the captain of the army, the captain of the Northern Kingdom army, he responds to Elisha like, should the Lord make windows in heaven? And basically, he's responding like, you know, as if it's some doubt, trying to be a damn smart mouth, right? Now watch this. Go ahead.
And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but thou shalt not eat thereof.
So Elisha's response for him was, you going to see what I just said with your eyes. You going to see the restoration. You going to see the end of the famine, but you ain't going to take part in it. You ain't going to eat thereof. All right? Read on.
And there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate. And they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die?
So it was 4 sick men, 4 leprous men sitting at the gate. And they was like, what the hell we sitting here for? Just to die of starvation. Go ahead.
If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there.
Right. So if we go into the city, we going to die there. Ain't no food there. Go ahead.
And if we sit still here, we die also.
And if we just sit here at the gate, we going to die here. Read.
Now therefore come, and let us fall unto the host of the Syrians.
Let us go to the Syrian army. Let's try and attempt to surrender to them. Read.
If they save us alive, we shall live.
Because they might keep us alive. They might make us slaves or something or whatever, but we'll be able to live. We'll be able to eat. Read.
And if they kill us, we shall but die.
And if they put us out of our misery, then they put us out of our misery. The worst thing they could do is kill us. Hell, we either going to die here at the gate, die here in the city, or they going to put us out of our misery. Or they might take us in as servants and we live. Right? So basically, we have nothing to lose. Let's go unto the host of the Syrians. Right? Read on.
And they rose up in the twilight to go unto the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come unto the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there.
So when they went to the camp of the Syrians, there was nobody there. Read on.
For the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, Lo, the king of Israel hath hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the king of the Egyptians to come upon us.
So the Lord made a noise, a tumultuous noise come from a certain direction for the Syrians to think that the northern kingdom had allies coming to attack them from a certain direction. And it was a realistic, like, they knew for a fact it was some armies coming against them. So the camp left in haste everything behind to go and defend themselves from this attack that they think is coming. Go ahead.
Wherefore they arose and fled in the twilight, and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their life. And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent, and did eat and drink, and carried thence silver and gold and raiment, and went and hid it.
So this is how you know this noise was crazy, right? Because the Syrians was that afraid. They left every damn thing. You understand? They gold, they silver, they animals, they clothes. They left every damn thing in fear for their life. That's how real the sound sounded. But it wasn't nobody coming for that. You understand? But they got up and left every damn thing. And these 4 lepers, they seeing all this. They're like, damn, what the hell? We didn't hit the lottery, didn't it? Go ahead.
And came again and entered into another tent,
Uh-huh.
and carried thence also, and went and hid it.
Breathe.
Then they said one to another, we do not well.
Right. So they going and taking little bits and pieces for themselves, right? And then they have a council. They like, nah, this ain't right. Read on.
This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace.
This is some of the greatest news that the nation of Israel can hear right now. The Syrians that left all they damn victuals. You know what I'm saying? All this food, this raiment, this money, all the Syrians that left open sesame. And we just gonna keep it to ourselves. Four brothers. Nah, this ain't right. Go ahead.
If we tarry to the morning light, some mischief will come upon us.
If we wait any longer to spread this good news, God gonna judge us. Go ahead.
Now therefore come, that we may go into the king's household. So they came and
So they
called.
were like, hey, we gotta go let the king know. We gotta go let Joram know what's going on. Read.
So they came and called unto the porter of the city, and they told them, saying, we came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither voice of man, but horses tied and asses tied, and the tents as they were.
So we went to the camp of the Syrians, and it was vacant. Not a voice, not a whisper, not a breath. You understand? Completely no man in sight. No voice in the range of hearing at all. And they got horses, asses, food, gold, silver. You hear me? For real, no cap. Read.
And he called the porters, and they told it to the king's house within.
Come on.
And the king arose in the night, and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we be hungry. Therefore are they gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city.
Right. So the king thinking he's smart, thinking he on his toes, you know what I'm saying, on his P's and Q's. Like, nah, man, that's a setup, bro. They know we hungry. They know we desperate. So they trying to do a little ambush. They left their stuff to try to draw us out of the city to go and take over. Go ahead.
And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which I left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that I left in it. Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of the Israelites that are consumed. And let us sin and see.
So some of the servants was like, let us go see, king. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Let us go see. Read.
They took therefore 2 chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, go and see.
Come on.
And they went after them unto Jordan. And lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told the king.
So the messengers went and they confirmed what the 4 lepers reported. Like, nah, hey, it's open sesame. You understand? It's lottery ticket. For real. Go ahead.
And the people went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord.
So what Elisha prophesied came to pass. The economy flipped. due to this surplus of spoil they was able to get from the Syrians. Go ahead.
And the king appointed the Lord on whose hand he leaned to have the charge of the gate.
So remember, the brother that responded to Elisha with a smart mouth, he was in charge of the gate. So he was at the gate of the city. Go ahead.
And the people trode upon him in the gate, and he died, as the man of God had said. Who spoke then, the king came down to him.
Who spoke when?
Who spake when the king came down to him.
Right, the man in verse 2. Right? So that man who had a smart mouth toward Elisha, he was in charge of the gate, and the people are stampeding, right, for the spoil of the Syrians, and in their stamp. You know, Jake, what that was, the damn Travis Scott concert, when all them people was dying because they was what that in Astroland, what the hell, what this shit was called? But anyway, that just, I don't know, that just first example that came to my mind. But when Jake get out of hand, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro, you gotta think they hungry as hell. You know what I'm saying? So everybody pushing, they doing all this, you know, they going overboard, right? And they trample over this guy. But it was prophecy fulfilled. This was like, you gonna see it, but you ain't gonna eat of it. So he's seeing the people bringing forth all the spoil that was gonna end the famine, but he wasn't able to take part in it because they trampled him. All right, he got feet all on every bone and organ of his body and died. All right, that's why you can't play with the prophets, man. For real, a smart remark, seal your fate. For real. Read on.
Verse 18. And it came to pass, as the man of God had spoken to the king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel, shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. And that Lord answered the man of God, and said, Now behold, if the Lord shall make windows in heaven, might such a thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. And so it fell out unto him, for the people trode upon him in the gate, and he died.
All right, so now let's go to chapter 8, verse 3. Now remember, we read chapter 8, verses 1 and 2 earlier. We jumped there to show you that Elisha knew that there would be a famine, right? So these 7 years of famine is from chapter 6 to where we read now. There was a 7-year period, right? So now the Shunammite woman who hearkened to Elisha's counsel and when it dwelt with the Philistines for 7 years, now the famine is over. The word of the Lord came to pass. The economy flipped because of the spoil they was able to take from the Syrians. All right, so chapter 8, verse 3.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 8 and verse 3. And it came to pass at the 7 years' end that the woman returned out of the land of the Philistines, and she went forth to cry unto the king for her house and for her land.
So the land that she gave up temporarily, right, because she knew it was going to be a famine, and Elisha spared her from having to go through that. It said, go stay with wherever to avoid this famine. She's coming back at the end of that 7 years to get her land back that she left. Read.
And the king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, Tell me, I pray thee, all the great things that Elisha have done.
So while the woman is on her way to plead with the king is having a conversation with Elisha's servant, Gehazi, right? So he asking Gehazi, like, man, tell me, like, just some of the works Elisha been doing. Read.
And it came to pass, as he was telling the king how he had restored a dead body to life, that behold, the woman whose son he hath restored to life cried to the king for her house and for her land.
Right. So it just so happened that she come right on time. She come right when the king is having a conversation with Elisha's servant about the miracle that Elisha did for her and her son. Go ahead.
And Gehazi said, "My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son, whom Elisha has restored to life."
Right, this her right here. There go her son right there, who I'm telling you about right now. That's her right there. Go ahead.
And when the king asked the woman, she told him.
Right, so he was like, "For real? Elisha brought your son back to life now?" She was like, "Yes." Go ahead.
So the king appointed unto her a certain officer, saying, "Restore all that was hers, and all the fruits of the fields since the day that she left the land, even until now."
So the king told the officer, like, "Hey, get her right." You know what I'm saying? That's Elisha work right there. Get her right. Go ahead.
And Elisha came to Damascus, and Benadad, the king of Syria, was sick. And it was told him, saying, "The man of God is come hither."
Read.
And the king said unto Hazael, "Take a present in thine hand, and go, meet the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, Shall I recover of this disease?"
Right. So Benadad is sick, right, with a grievous disease, and he knows that Elisha is coming. So he sends Hazael to go and inquire from Elisha. Everybody know Elisha got the answers. He not sway. He got the answers. So Benadad sent Hazael to inquire from Elisha whether or not he's going to survive this sickness. Now, you might be wondering, who the hell is Hazael? Watch this. Go to 1 Kings 19. I know y'all forgot from a while back. 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 15.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 19 and verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, "Go."
The him here is Elijah, all right, who during the time that we're reading about presently with Elisha, remember Elijah was taken up, right? So this is a long time ago. This is when Ahab and Jezebel was still ruling over the northern kingdom, right? But this is what the Lord told Elijah during his time. Read.
"Go, return on thy way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when thou comest, anoint Hazael to be king over Syria."
So the Lord already foretold Elijah that Hazael was going to become the king over Syria. Hazael is not Benadad's son. You understand? So Hazael would have to take the kingdom from Benadad. But the Lord has already shown Elijah this is what's going to happen. Read on.
"And Jehu, the son of Nimshi, shalt thou anoint to be king over Israel. And Elisha, the son of Shaphat of Alabahola, shalt thou anoint to be prophet in thy room."
It say Alabama Mahola. It say Abel Mahola. All right, go ahead.
"And it shall come to pass that him that escapeth the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay. And him that escapeth from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha slay."
So these two people in particular, Jehu, right, which was one of us who went on to be king, Lord's willing, we introduce him today, and Hazael, these two people will be used as a sword of the Lord. They would come with great wrath against the northern kingdom. You understand? They're going to catch a lot of bodies, right? So go back to 2 Kings chapter 8.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 8 and
now,
verse.
mind you, in Benadad mind, this is his servant, and he's sending his servant Hazael to inquire from Elisha whether or not he's going to live, right? But Elisha knows Hazael's true destiny and purpose. So watch this, 2 Kings 8 verse 9.
2 Kings chapter 8 and verse 9. "So Hazael went to meet him, and took a present with him, even of every good thing of Damascus, 40 camels burden, and came and stood before him and said, Thy son Benadad, king of Syria, has sent me to thee, saying, Shall I recover of this disease?
Right, thy son Benadad. Everybody was Elisha's son. For real, the prophets was real. I'm telling you, bruh. Hey, I'm telling you, y'all don't know. Y'all just don't know, man. The prophets back in the earth. I'm telling you, they gonna come. Y'all gonna see the level that our leadership get to in this earth. All right? But this man calling the king of Syria his son. He said, your son Benadad have sent me to these saying, shall I recover this disease? Read.
And Elisha said unto him, Go, say unto him, thou mayest certainly recover. Howbeit the Lord have showed me that he shall surely die.
Right. So, Haziel, this is what you do. You go and tell him, basically, go lie. Like, hey, tell him that, yeah, you're gonna be all right. But the truth is, between me and you, Haziel, the Lord showed me that he's going to die. All right, go ahead.
And he settled his countenance steadfastly.
Right. So Elisha tried to keep a straight face, a poker face, while telling Haziel this. Go ahead.
Until he was ashamed. And the man of God wept.
But he couldn't hold it in. He started crying as he's speaking to Haziel. He tried to keep a straight face, but he couldn't. Go ahead.
And Hazael said, Why weepeth my Lord?
So Haziel like, what the hell wrong with you? You crying? What's going on? What is this? Read.
And he answered, Because I know the evil that thou wilt do unto the children of Israel.
So that's why Elisha started crying. He said, I already know the evil you're going to do to the children of Israel. Remember what the Lord told Elijah, right? Whoever escaped from the sword of Hazael shall Jehu slay. So Hazael would be a sword. Hazael would be one that would inflict grave punishment upon the northern kingdom. All right? So he already know this about Hazael. He's like, I know the evil you're going to do to my people. Go ahead.
Their strongholds wilt thou set on fire.
You're going to set their strongholds on fire. Go ahead.
And their young men wilt thou slay with the sword.
You're going to slay their young men with the sword.
And will dash their children.
And you're going to kill their children. Read.
And rip up their women with child.
And this how you know, man, like, because as he telling Hazael, and Hazael think he Benadad's servant, they coming at Elisha like it's all cool. He respect Elisha. He don't got no evil intentions towards Israel in that moment. And Elisha telling him, yeah, you going to be killing our babies and shit, killing our pregnant women. Yeah, you going to be doing all of that. It's showing you like, man's going to the Lord ain't talking about good luck. It's saying that he seals your purpose beyond your control, and it's everybody. You understand? The way of you is not in yourself, right? The Lord literally has declared the end from the beginning, and when he wants to activate a certain purpose within you, you're not going to foresee it. One day, I'm telling you, one day somebody wake up and be like, oh yeah, I gotta get an AK-47 and go and shoot up this. You know what I'm saying? Like this. Hey, I'm telling you that nobody really has power over their life. Elisha telling this man like, yeah, this what you gonna do to my people. Hazael like, watch his response, read. Watch this.
Verse 13. And Hazael said, But what, is thy servant a dog that he should do this great thing?
Like Hazael, like, damn, I'm a dog like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you telling me I'm a dog like that? I'm wicked like that? For real? I don't look at your people like that. I didn't have any intentions of doing that. You saying that's how I'm going to get down. Read.
And Elisha answered, The Lord have showed me that thou shalt be king over Syria.
It's like, hey, the Lord showed me you're going to be king over Syria. Meaning he's going to take the crown off of Benadad's head. Watch this. Read.
So he departed from Elisha and came to his master, who said to him, What said Elisha to thee?
So Hazael returns to Benadad. Benadad like, hey, what did Elisha tell you? Go ahead.
And he answered, He told me that thou shouldst surely recover.
So Hazael tell him, oh yeah, he said you're going to be all right. All right, which was what Elisha told him to tell him. Read.
And it came to pass on the morrow that he took a thick cloth.
Right, so the next day, Hazael get a thick cloth. Read.
And dipped it in water and spread it on his face so that he died. And Hazael reigned in his stead.
So Hazael smothered Ben-Hadad, killed him. Right, that's how he took the kingdom from Ben-Hadad. So now Hazael, as the Lord showed to Elijah, came to pass during the time of Elisha, Hazael will become king over Syria. All right? Read on. Well, what verse was that? 15? Jump down to verse 25.
Verse 25. In the 12th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, died Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, began to reign.
You said died. Read it again. Come on, man.
In the 12th year,
be smooth, bruh.
In the 12th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, did Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, began to reign.
So remember last time we dealt with the southern kingdom, Jehoram, right? So now his son begins to reign. And remember, this is 841 BC, in the 12th year of the southern kingdom, Jehoram's reign. All right, go ahead.
22 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign. And he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
He only reigned 1 year. Go ahead.
And his mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri, king of Israel.
Right. So Athaliah, whatever way, whatever floats your boat, right? Shit, that was his nice. I don't know which one. I didn't heard both. I did what it is. Whichever one you choose, we gonna roll with it.
Okay.
She was Ahaziah's mother. It said that she was the daughter of Omri, king of Israel. This daughter right here means granddaughter. You'll see that in certain instances in the scripture. It'll call somebody's son a daughter, but it means grandson or granddaughter. She was the granddaughter of Omri. We're going to prove that in a second. We'll go to 1 Kings 16 and verse 25 just to remind y'all who Omri is or was. 1 Kings 16:25.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 16 and verse 25. But Omri wrought evil in the eyes of the Lord, and did worse than all that were before him.
So when Omri rose up as king over Samaria, the Bible says that he did worse than all the kings that was before him. He was wicked as hell. However, like we covered, right, when we went over him, the Bible is very brief about him. It don't say much. Like, he was wicked, yeah, blah, blah. But he is cemented in history, like amongst, documented by other nations, right, as a very powerful king. He basically was able to make Samaria like unto Jerusalem. He was able to make Samaria a powerful capital for the northern kingdom as Jerusalem was to the southern kingdom. And he did this by making allies with Zidon, the Zidonians, right? That's why he married his son Ahab to Jezebel. That was an alliance and affinity that he made with the Zidonians. That's why they was worshiping their guys. And that's why the Bible would say, man, that nigga was wicked, move on. You know what I'm saying? But historically, he was admired amongst the nations. He was somebody that, you know, he made moves, right? He made Samaria rich. Now read verse 28.
Verse 28.
Uh-huh.
So Omri slept with his fathers and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his stead.
So that's who Ahab's father was. Omri was Ahab's father. Right now, remember it said Athaliah or Athaliah was the daughter of Omri. She was really his granddaughter. All right. We'll go back to 2 Kings 8:27. We can prove it in a second. Read 27.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 8 and verse 27. And he walked in the way of the house of Ahab.
Right. So Ahaziah of the southern kingdom walked in the way of the house of Ahab. The house of Ahab was the northern kingdom. So this southern kingdom king walked in the ways of the northern kingdom kings. Go ahead.
And did evil in the sight of the Lord, as did the house of Ahab.
So he did evil like the house of Ahab did on the northern kingdom side. Read.
For he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab.
So just check it out. What's his name? Ahaziah. Ahaziah was Ahab's son-in-law. Ahab was of the northern kingdom. Ahaziah was of the southern kingdom. But he was Ahab's son-in-law. His mother was Athaliah or Athaliah. Which one you pick so I can pick which one I'm going to say? Because you're going to be okay, Athaliah. His mother was Athaliah, which was the granddaughter of Omri. Okay. Go to 2 Chronicles 18, verse 1. Because I know y'all forgot. 2 Chronicles 18, verse 1.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 18 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now Jehoshaphat had riches and honor in abundance.
So remember, Jehoshaphat was a righteous king that walked in the ways of King David. For the southern kingdom, he kept the commandments. Judah was blessed during his reign. They experienced blessings of Deuteronomy 28, not the 15 through 68, but the 1 through 14 under Jehoshaphat, right? But, read on.
And joined affinity with Ahab.
He did what?
Joined affinity with Ahab.
But that was his shortcoming. He joined affinity with Ahab, which was the worst king to ever reign, right? Over the northern kingdom. The affinity that a part of the affinity that he made with Ahab was him marrying his son to Ahab's daughter. Go to chapter 21, 2 Kings 21, verse 1. No, 2 Chronicles 21, verse 1.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 21, and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now Jehoshaphat slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Jehoram, his son, reigned in his stead.
Read.
And
no, jump down to verse, verse 6.
Verse 6.
So remember, this is the son of Jehoshaphat. This is Ahaziah's father, right? Jehoram reigned in Jehoshaphat's stead, verse 6.
And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel.
He walked in the way of the kings of the northern kingdom, not in the ways of Jehoshaphat, his father. Go ahead.
Like as did the house of Ahab. For he had the daughter of Ahab to wife.
He had the what?
The daughter of Ahab to wife.
He had the daughter of Ahab to wife. Who is this talking about? Athaliah. You understand? She was the granddaughter of Omri. She was the daughter of Ahab. That's why I said that Ahaziah, the king over the southern kingdom, was Ahab's son-in-law because he married Ahab's daughter, right? So there was an intermarrying between the two kingdoms because of that affinity that Jehoshaphat made with Ahab. Jehoshaphat's son, Jehoram, married Ahab's daughter, Athaliah. The child that came from that is Ahaziah. All right? So now jump to verse 16.
Verse 16.
So this is a recap. This is going back. We went over this last time, but this is during the reign of Jehoshaphat's son Jehoram, the southern kingdom Jehoram. All right, verse 16.
Moreover.
So mind you, we just read that he walked in the ways of Ahab, meaning he was wicked, made idols and all that throughout the southern kingdom. He basically screwed up Jehoshaphat's prosperity, right? That remember, the people was blessed. They was teaching the laws. They was enforcing God's laws throughout the land. This nigga rose up in his father's stead and allowed his wife, his wicked ass wife, the daughter of Ahab, to influence him to turn to idolatry. You understand? And that ruined the prosperity that Judah had. So what happened, verse 16?
Moreover, the Lord stirred up.
Moreover. Lord have mercy. Go read it again.
Moreover, the Lord stirred.
Moreover. It don't say moreover. Jeez. Come on.
Moreover, the Lord stirred up against Jehoram the spirit of the Philistines and of the Arabians that were near the Ethiopians.
All right. So the Lord stirred up these nations against Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, the southern kingdom one. Now remember, Arabians, right? They was amongst the enemies that the Lord stirred up against him. Now jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
32 years old was he when he began to reign.
Mm-hmm.
And he reigned in Jerusalem 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
and departed without being desired.
So remember, we went over that last time. He departed without being desired. That's the legacy that he left. Israel could care less. They were like, good riddance. This nigga messed up the prosperous kingdom we had under Jehoshaphat. Thanks a lot, nigger. You understand? So he departed without being desired. Go ahead.
Howbeit, they buried him in the city of David, but not in the sepulchres of the kings.
They didn't even regard him as a king in his burial. Keep reading.
Verse 20, chapter 22, verse 1. And the inhabitants of Jerusalem made Ahaziah, his youngest son, king in his stead.
Right. So we're reading about how Ahaziah got raised up the king in his stead, because Ahaziah was not the heir. Right? Read on.
For the band of men that came with the Arabians to the camp
that we just read in chapter 21, verse 16, who the Lord stirred up against him for his wickedness. Read.
Had slain all the elders.
They killed his older son. So Ahaziah was not even an heir, but the Arabians killed all of his other sons, the older sons. All right, go ahead.
So Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, reigned.
Read.
42 years old was Ahaziah when he began to reign.
Which is a typo. He was 22, like we read in 2 Kings. All right, go ahead.
And he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
That was 841 BC. Read.
His mother's name also was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri.
The daughter of Ahab, the granddaughter of Omri. Go ahead.
He also walked in the ways of the house of Ahab.
Why?
For his mother.
For his what?
His mother.
His what?
His mother.
His what?
His mother.
Mama! Read.
Was his counselor to do wickedly.
You see that? And like I said, there's certain lineages in this earth that's just perpetually toxic. You understand? Everything that came out of that lineage of Omri was wicked as hell. And they defiled the southern kingdom. When the southern kingdom, that's why the Lord said, when he went to Jehoshaphat, he said, you love them that hate the Lord, therefore wrath has come upon you from the Lord. For some reason, he wanted to be so cool with Ahab and his son. You understand? He kept trying to be friends with them. And he gave his son to Ahab's daughter. And that ended up jacking up the southern kingdom because of the influence that Ahab's daughter had to her husband and then on her son. So 2 generations of the kings of Judah was defiled by the toxicity of the house of Ahab by way of Ahab's daughter, Athaliah. All right? Read on.
Verse 4. Wherefore he did evil in the sight of the Lord like the house of Ahab. For they were his counselors after the death of his father to his destruction.
To his what?
To his destruction.
To his destruction. So this feminist damn kingdom, because remember, Athaliah is the daughter of Ahab, which means she is the daughter of who? Jezebel. You understand? So which spirit has entered into the southern kingdom at this point? The Jezebel spirit. All right? Let's get that in Isaiah chapter 3. Matter of fact, read Ezekiel 16 first. Ezekiel 16:44.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16 and verse 44.
Come on.
Behold, everyone that useth this proverb shall use this proverbs against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
So Athaliah is no different than Jezebel. You understand? Athaliah is an Israelite, but she had the same spirit as her damn mama. You understand? That wicked, idolatrous spirit. That spirit to want to usurp authority over men, manipulate and basically get power, you understand, through the men that she has the influence over. It was her husband first, then it was her son. You understand? She counseled her son to do wickedly. And we're going to read about that counsel in a second. But go to Isaiah 3 and 12 first.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
And who?
Women rule over them.
Just like we see today, right? A lot of single-parent households headed by the woman. And these same women complain about how these niggas be dogging them out and they not no good and all they do is go to jail and they ain't no good men out here. But who raising these no good ass niggas? You understand? Who raising these niggas you complaining about? You! The hell is this?
Right.
Come on.
Oh, my people, they which lead thee.
The women that rule over you, go ahead.
Cause thee to err.
Cause you to err. That's what we just read in Chronicles. His mother was his counselor to his destruction. Now, go back to 2 Chronicles 22.
Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
And destroy.
And do what?
Destroy the way of thy past.
And that's what happened to Ahaziah. Go to 2 Chronicles 22, verse 5.
The book of 2 Chronicles.
Let's see the counsel that his mama gave him. Watch this.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 22 and verse 5.
Come on.
He walked also after their counsel, and went with Jehoram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, to war against Hazael, king of Syria, at Ramoth Gilead.
So, remember, Elisha already told Hazael, bruh, you're going to do much evil against my people. You understand? The Lord going to use you as a sword. It is what it is, right? So, Hazael then became king over Syria. Hazael makes war with the northern kingdom, right? At this time, Jehoram, the northern kingdom one, is still ruling. Athaliah counsels Ahaziah, her son, king over the southern kingdom, to go and assist Jehoram. Why is that? What's the correlation? Jehoram is Athaliah's brother. Athaliah telling her son Hazahiah, boy, go help your uncle. You understand? For real. It's some family. That's why the Lord didn't want Jehoshaphat to deal with them. Now they tied. They got blood ties now. Like, of course they have blood ties. They were both Israel. But you know what I mean. Household, close family ties. So his mama counseling him, boy, go help your uncle. You understand? So Ahaziah makes the grave mistake of being a Jew of Southern Kingdom and going and assisting the Northern Kingdom when the Lord has already appointed them to be judged, right? Now watch this. Keep reading.
And the Syrians smote Joram,
and
he returned to be healed in Jezreel, because the wounds which are given him in Ramah when he fought with Hazael, king of Syria.
Right, so the Syrians hit Joram up, right? He got shot. All right, go ahead.
And Azariah, the son of Jehoram.
Azariah is Ahaziah. All right, like I said, he got three names. Azariah, Ahaziah, and Jehoaz. All right, but his main name is Ahaziah. So then Azariah right there is Ahaziah. Go ahead.
King of Judah went down to see Jehoram, the son of Ahab, at Jezreel, because he was sick.
So Ahaziah went to visit his uncle right? Jehoram, while Jehoram was wounded, while he was sick, while he was recovering from them shots. Go ahead.
And the destruction of Ahaziah was of God by coming to Joram.
Read it again.
And the destruction of Ahaziah was of God by coming to Joram.
So I'm telling you, we don't know God, bruh. This is an example of man's going to the Lord. Man's going to the Lord ain't talking about good luck. It ain't talking about good fortune all the time. You understand? Him going to visit his uncle was putting him right in line for judgment from God. You understand? Go ahead.
For when he was come, he went out with Jehoram against Jehu, the son of Nimshi, who the Lord had anointed to cut off the house of Ahab.
And I know y'all forgot, but we read that in 1 Kings 19. That's what the Lord told Elijah. Remember, Jehu gonna slay, Hazael gonna slay. You understand? Jehu was anointed to execute the vengeance upon the house of Ahab that Elijah pronounced against him in 1 Kings 21. We're gonna get all that. Lord's willing. All right, damn, it's 6:16. The hell is this? All right, we gonna get through this, y'all. We gonna get through this. Go to 2 Kings chapter 9. 2 Kings chapter 9, verse 1.
The book of 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, Gird up thy loins, and take this box of oil in thine hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. And when thou comest thither, look out there, Jehu the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in, and make him arise up from among his brethren, and carry him to an inner chamber. Then take the box of oil, and pour it on his head, and say, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door and flee, and tarry not.
Right. So Elisha tell one of his young men to go take this oil and anoint Jehu to be king over Israel, meaning Samaria, northern kingdom. Go ahead.
So the young man, even the young man the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. And when he came, behold, the captains of the host were sitting. And he said, I have an errand to thee, O captain. And Jehu said, Unto which of all us? And he said, To thee, O captain.
So the young man go to Jehu. You know, it's a crowd of brothers, but he's addressing the captain. He like, hey, Cap, you understand? I got an errand for you. Jehu like, you talking about me? You like, yeah, you Cap. Go ahead.
And he arose and went into the house. And he poured the oil on his head and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I have anointed thee king over the people of the Lord, even over Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord at the hand of Jezebel.
So Jehu, remember, this is a mighty man, a mighty warrior. He a captain, right, of the army. So the prophet, well, the servant of the prophet is telling him, you have been chosen by God to avenge the blood of the prophets that Ahab and Jezebel murdered. Get that real quick, 1 Kings 18, just in case y'all forgot what Jezebel did. All right, read that. 1 Kings 18:13.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 18 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Was it not told, my Lord, what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord?
What did Jezebel do?
Slew the prophets of the Lord.
Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord. And she had that authority from her husband, Ahab. Right? So Jezebel had a spirit to murder the prophets of the Lord. Now remember, we just read about her daughter. Well, we didn't read about her. Well, we kind of did. How she counseled her son to do wickedly, right? Athaliah is Jezebel's daughter. Ezekiel said as the mother is, so is the daughter. All right? So remember that. But now go back to where we was at.
The book of 2 Kings
9 verse 8.
Chapter 9 and verse 8. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that shut up and left in Israel.
Right. So Jehu is going to be used to destroy every male that descends from Ahab. That's why I say he that pisseth against the wall. Every person with a penis from the lineage of Ahab got to die so they can no longer progenerate. Go ahead.
And I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat.
Because the same thing happened to Jeroboam's lineage. It's them toxic ass lineages the Lord be having to exterminate. I'm telling you. So what happened to Jeroboam, how his lineage got wiped out. Go ahead.
And like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah.
Remember that Issacharite that took the throne, that conspired and took the throne? His lineage got wiped out. So Ahab had to go through the same judgment for his evil. All right, his lineage. Go ahead.
And the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the portion of Jezreel, and there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled.
So the brother that anointed Jehu said all that and then ran out. Go ahead.
Then Jehu came forth to the servants of his Lord, and one said unto him, Is all well?
Is you straight? Read.
Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee?
What the hell that crazy ass brother came to you for? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, Ye know the man and his communication.
Y'all know what's up. Read.
And they said, It is false. Tell us now.
They're like, no, the hell we don't. We don't know what's up. What's up, Jehu? Read.
And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel.
So he basically was like, look, I'm king over Israel now. I'm the man. Read.
Then they hasted and took every man his garment and put it under him at the top of the stairs and blew with trumpets, saying, Jehu is king.
So they was with it. They didn't hesitate or nothing. They were like, oh, you word? Yo, word? You king? All right. And they went and blew the trumpets. Go ahead.
So Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram.
Now this is of the Lord. All right, go ahead.
Now Joram had kept Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael, king of Syria.
Read.
But King Joram was returned to be healed in Jezreel.
Again, man's goings of the Lord, because something got to go down in Jezreel. All right? That just so happened to be the place where Jehoram goes to be healed of his wounds, right? When he got popped by the Syrians in battle against Hazael. Go ahead.
To be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him when he fought with Hazael, king of Syria. And Jehu said, If it be your minds, then let none go forth nor escape out of the city to go tell it in Jezreel.
Right, don't let nobody go forewarned about what's finna happen, what I'm finna come to Jezreel and do. Read.
So Jehu rode in the chariot and went to Jezreel. For Joram lay there, and Ahaziah, king of Judah, was come down to see Joram.
Read.
And there stood a watchman on the tower in Jezreel.
So remember, man's going to the Lord. Ahaziah is visiting his uncle, right? The king over northern kingdom, in Jezreel, while Jehu is in hot pursuit. Read.
And he spied the company of Jehu as he came, and said, I see a company.
So in former times, we had watchmen set up, right? So the watchmen see Jehu coming with, some chariots. So he's like, hold on, what the hell going on? I see a company. Read.
And Joram said, Take an horseman and send to meet them, and let him say, Is it peace?
So send a horseman and ask Jehu, is we good? Is it peace? Read.
So there went one on horseback to meet him, and said, Thus saith the king, Is it peace?
Right. So it was a messenger sent to Jehu to ask, is it peace? Read.
And Jehu said, What hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me.
So Jehu was like, the hell you got to do with peace? Man, fall in line. You with me now. Read.
And the watchman told, saying, The messenger came to them, but he cometh not again.
So the watchman report back to Jehoram like, yeah, the messenger, he went to Jehu, but he ain't come back from Jehu. Go ahead.
Then he sent out a second on horseback, which came to them and said, Thus saith the king, is it peace?
So Jehoram sent another messenger to Jehu to ask the same thing. Is it peace? Read.
And Jehu answered, what hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me.
Shut up, brother, and fall in line. You understand? Join the winning team. So that brother fall in line with Jehu. Go ahead.
And the watchman told, saying, he came even unto them and cometh not again.
So, yeah, the brother went out that you sent, but he didn't come back. He did not come back from Jehu. Go ahead.
And the driving is like the driving of Jehu, the son of Nimshi, for he driveth furiously.
I think this seemed like Jehu. I know how he get down, the way that he be coming. Yeah, I think this is Jehu, and he coming with fury. Go ahead.
And Joram said, make ready. And his chariot was made ready.
So Jehoram like, all right, let's get ready. Go ahead.
And Joram, king of Israel, and Ahaziah, king of Judah, went out, each in his chariot. And they went out against Jehu, and met him in the portion of Naboth the Jezreelite.
So they met him. This is not by coincidence, right? It's a coincidence to them per se, but this is all of the Lord. So they met with Jehu in the portion of Naboth the Jezreelite. Who is Naboth? The brother that Jezebel had put to death because Ahab was, he didn't let me get by his land. And Jezebel had the man put to death. And that's when Elijah went and told Ahab their future judgments, right? So the son of Ahab and the son-in-law of Ahab come and meet with Jehu in that same land that Ahab and Jezebel killed for, right? Go ahead.
Verse 22. And it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu that he said, is it peace, Jehu? And he answered, what peace, so long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many?
The hell peace we gonna have as long as your damn mama witchcrafts is prevalent throughout the land? Read.
And Joram turned his hands and fled and said to Ahaziah, there is treachery, O Ahaziah.
So Jehoram, he turned. So I guess he was like, is we good, Jehu? Jehu like, what the hell you mean good? All the damn witchcraft and idolatry your mama responsible for. So Jehoram was like, Ahaziah, treachery. Jehu finna kill me. He finna try to kill me. Go ahead.
And Jehu drew a bow with his full strength.
So Jehu cocked back. Read.
And smote Jehoram between his arms.
So Jehoram trying to run. Jehu. Bro, I'm telling you, right? Hey, because there wasn't no guns back then, but you had to be a strong brother to know how to work that bow. You know what I'm saying? Jehoram think he getting away, but he messing with Cap. He messing with Capo. Jehu, he get his ass. Read on.
And the arrow went out at his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot.
One shot. Jeez, smooth through his heart, through his vital organ, the most vital organ in his body. And he sunk down in the chariot. Go ahead.
Then said Jehu to Bidkar his captain, take up and cast him in the portion of the field of Naboth the Jezreelite. For remember how that when I and thou rode together after Ahab his father, the Lord laid this burden upon him.
Right, this 1 Kings 21, read.
Surely I have seen yesterday the blood of Naboth and the blood of his sons, saith the Lord. And I will quite thee in this plot, saith the Lord.
Go ahead.
Now therefore, take and cast him into the plot of the ground, according to the word of the Lord.
According to what word of the Lord? 1 Kings 21. Let's just read verse 29. Okay. Come on.
1 Kings 1 to 29.
1 Kings 21, 29.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 29.
Come on.
seest thou had Ahab humbleth himself before me.
So when Elijah told Ahab the judgments that would befall him, Ahab took sackcloth and fasted and humbled himself, right? Go ahead.
Because he humbleth himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days.
I'm not going to bring the evil during his lifetime, right? And the evil he talking about is the blood in the same plot of land that he murdered over, right? Because remember how Ahab died. He got wounded in battle and bled out. So he said, I'm not going to bring this evil that you just told him about in his days. Read.
But in his son's days will I bring the evil upon his house.
Right. So this is the word of the Lord that's coming to pass by the hand of Jehu. That's why the Lord had them meet in that same plot of land of Naboth the Jezreelite. All right. So go back. What verse we at? 27?
The book of 2 Kings chapter 9 and verse 27.
Come on.
But when Ahaziah the king of Judah saw this, he fled by the way of the garden house, and Jehu followed after him.
So Ahaziah, see what happened. He see Jehoram get popped, one shot, gone. So he tried to run. Read.
And Jehu followed after him and said, smite him also in the chariot. And they did so at the going up to Gur, which is by Ibleam.
Come on.
And he fled into Megiddo and died there.
All right. What verse was that? Read verse 28.
Verse 28. And his servants carried him in a chariot to Jerusalem and buried him in his sepulchre with his fathers in the city of David.
All right. Jump down to verse 30.
Verse 30.
And
when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out at a window.
So she trying to work her little magic. She put on makeup. She beat her face and put a nice little hair wrap on. Go ahead. Now, mind you, through all this time, Jezebel is still alive. You understand? She being preserved. Her wicked ass. Go ahead.
And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, had Zimri peace, who slew his master?
So had Zimri peace? Zimri is a brother that conspired. I believe that's the brother who reigned for 7 days. He conspired against his master and he ended up dying, right, in 7 days. So he telling her, did Zimri have peace that slew his master? Read.
And he lifted up his face to the widow and said, to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs.
Right. So he look up at the window. He say, who on my side up there? So 2 of the eunuchs that was supposed to be protecting Jezebel had looked at the window like, we on your side. We don't like this hoe. Go ahead.
And he said, throw her down.
He said, bet, throw her down here, Reed.
So they threw her down.
So they like, yes, sir. Threw her ass down. Go ahead.
And some of her blood was sprinkled upon the wall.
And she hit the ground, splat. Like, in the movies, somebody hit the ground, splat. Her blood splattered on the wall. Go ahead.
And on the horses. And he trod her underfoot.
And Jehu rolled over her ass with his chariot. Damn! That's some cold stuff. Her wicked ass. She gonna beat her face like she gonna woo him over or something like. Nah, throw her wicked ass down. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Verse 34. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink and said, go, see now this cursed woman and bury her.
So he came in eating and drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, go look at that damn cursed woman out there. Go ahead.
For she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull.
Damn! So they went to go bury her body. She the Zidonian king daughter, I'll go bury her. They go bury her. They don't find nothing but a damn skull. Read.
And the feet and the palms of her hands.
And her feet and the palms of her hands. Damn. Read.
Wherefore they came again and told him.
They were like, hey, Jehu, we don't see nothing but a skull, some palms, and some feet. Read.
And he said, this is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel.
So that's what happened. Go to 1 Kings 21:23. This is the word of the Lord. Tell you, man, that look, God is not a man that he should lie. Read that.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 23. And of Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, the dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel.
By the what?
By the wall of Jezreel.
When she got through down with her blood splat on the damn wall of Jezreel. And the dogs ate her ass up before they could bury her body. So when they came and told him that, he was like, what it is what Elijah said. Them damn dogs ate her ass up and didn't leave nothing but a skull, her palms, and her feet. Sheesh. That's why the scriptures say, envy not the glory of the sinner. You do not know what's going to be their end. For real. Omri established a powerful kingdom. He set his son Ahab up to marry with the daughter of Zidon, and they started out just so prosperous, killing the prophets of the Lord, setting up all the idols. Samaria was flourishing carnally. You understand? And this was their end, their tragic ending. Lord don't play. All right. Last scripture, 2 Chronicles 22, verse 9. All right. So as you can see, this is how Jehu came into the picture, swinging his sword, laying down. You know what I'm saying? And this is how Athaliah comes into the picture. She was already in the picture counseling her son, Ahaziah, and that's how Ahaziah got put to death for listening to his damn mama. Go help your uncle. He go help his uncle and get his ass killed by Jehu. Let's read that. 2 Chronicles 22, verse 9.
The book of 2 Chronicles chapter 22 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
And he sought Ahaziah, and they caught him, for he was hid in Samaria, and brought him to Jehu.
So that's what we read in 2 Kings, right? It said, I forgot the specific location, but it was in Samaria. Go ahead.
And when they had slain him, they buried him, because said they, he is the son of Jehoshaphat, who sought the Lord with all his heart.
So out of respect for Jehoshaphat, they buried him in the sepulchre of the kings. Read.
So the house of Ahaziah had no power to keep still the kingdom. But when Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, she arose and destroyed all the seed royal of the house of Judah.
Y'all see this, right? As the mother is, so is the daughter. With the Jezebel spirit, she had no problem killing the Israelites, killing the prophets of the Lord. Her damn daughter, no different. No damn different. She saw this opportunity to reign, to have power. That's what the Jezebel spirit is. It ain't what Christianity teach. Just go around cheating on your husband, being a little nasty slut. That's not the Jezebel spirit. The Jezebel spirit is a spirit of spiritual fornication. You understand that basically what Eve did. You going and serving all these idols, and you want to have power. You want to usurp authority over the man. She saw an opportunity, a window of opportunity to establish rulership, to establish dominion over the land of Judah. I'm telling you that these toxic lineages, you understand, the daughter of Ahab, certain lineages just ain't right. They got to be removed out of the earth. All right? But read on.
Verse 11. But Jehoshabeth, the daughter of the king, took Joash, the son of Ahaziah, and stole him from among the king's sons that were slain, and put him and his nurse in the bedchamber.
Right. So she thought she killed all of Ahaziah's sons, but his daughter hid the youngest son. All right? Read on.
So Jehoshabeth, the daughter of King Jehoram, the wife of Jehoiada the priest, for she was the sister of Ahaziah, hid him from Athaliah, so that she slew him not.
Right. So I might have said it wrong. This is Ahaziah's sister. She hid her little nephew, the baby, right? And she was the wife of Jehoiada the priest. So that's who raised or concealed the youngest son of Ahaziah, right? And preserved him. Read.
And he was with them hid in the house of God 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And Athaliah reigned over the land.
Athaliah what?
Reigned over the land.
Athaliah what?
Reigned over the land.
Athaliah reigned over the land. Yes, you heard it correctly. All right. So, Lord's for the next time, we're going to go into that. A queen in Judah. So, we're going to see the one time that you had what's this called, a matriarchy? Something like that. A woman rulership. The one time you had a woman rulership in Israel. How that thing went. Lord's willing, we get into that next time. All right? But Lord's willing, y'all was edified. Y'all learned something today. The title was Suffering in Samaria, going into that 7-year famine during the time of Jehoram, and a queen in Judah, right? The introduction of Athaliah, the daughter of Ahab, the granddaughter of Omri. All right, so, yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to IUIC Arkansas. We trying to hit 40K subscribers. All right, all you got to do is right now, class is over. You got a little time before daily bread. Go to YouTube, type in IUIC space Arkansas, ARKANSAS. Hit subscribe and then hit the notification bell. All right? With that, Israel, shalom, most high in Christ bless.
Scalpers. Let's go. Hey. Talk is cheap, man, it's free to talk so tough. Okay, that's facts, make sure your actions adding up. One day most I gon' say that's enough. And in that day, can you drink that cup? Talk is cheap, man, it's free to talk so tough. Okay, that's facts, make sure your actions adding up. Hey, one day most I gon' say that's enough. And in that day, can you drink that cup? I done peeped the valley, tried to keep me silent, I done seen all kind of hate. Walking through the valley, demons looking at me, now they staring in my face. Don't be talking about it if you ain't about it, you should probably play it safe. When it come round that way, ain't nothing to say. It's about action. Youngest bump, they lick, they talking slick till it get active. Heard they said it's up, well the father said it's cracking. Just be hopeful, don't be boastful, man, it's a bad habit. It could get tragic. Hey, look me in my eyes. I can't say that we gon' make it out alive, but I know the battle on the line, and the spirit of fear the most high gon' despise. Talk is cheap, man, it's free to talk so tough. Okay, that's facts, make sure your actions adding up. One day most I gon' say that's enough. And in that day,